Are you Matthew Aldridge? Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, right. His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney?
The whole thing is a circus from the very start. The judge looks down from the bench and asks, "Are you Matthew Aldridge?" The man at the podium, completely serious, says, "I'm the attorney of fact." Let's stop right there. Attorney of fact? That's not an actual legal position. It's not in any statute book, and it definitely doesn't hold water in a criminal courtroom. Yet here's this guy, standing in front of a Tennessee judge, convinced he's uncovered some hidden legal trick to beat the system. The judge tries to get a straight answer. Are you a licensed attorney? Do you even have a power of attorney? And as you can imagine, that's where things start to unravel.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent mayor.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
He launches into a string of buzzwords: common law jurisdiction, contractual consent, sovereign rights. All the usual jargon lifted straight from internet message boards. It sounds official until you realize none of it has any place in an actual courtroom. The judge, to his credit, stays composed. No yelling, no sarcasm, just calm precision. He listens, lets the man finish, and then begins taking the claims apart one by one. He explains clearly and patiently that authority in a courtroom doesn't come from self-proclaimed titles or pseudo-legal theories. It comes from the law, and under that law, only a licensed attorney can represent someone in a criminal case.
Neil Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neil Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name.
Sovereign citizens love to believe that a few magic words can erase charges, cancel jurisdiction, or bend reality to their will. But that illusion vanishes fast when the judge finally steps in. Calm but firm, he reminds a man that this court operates under the authority of both the U.S. Constitution and the Tennessee Constitution, and no YouTube video or pseudo-legal paperwork can change that. The atmosphere shifts instantly. The judge has had enough, and the room feels it. He leans forward and says, "If you are Matthew Aldridge, then say so. If you're not, you have no standing here." That's the breaking point. Because sovereign citizens feed on confusion, hoping to trap the court in word games and technicalities. But when a judge cuts through the noise and forces clarity, their entire act falls apart.
July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be set, will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment.
The bluff finally shatters, and the whole act starts to fall apart. The courtroom watches as the man stumbles through half answers, trying to twist bits of legal jargon into some imaginary armor. But the judge doesn't flinch, steady, patient, and sharp as a blade. He makes it crystal clear. Fake filings and irrelevant civil codes mean nothing in a criminal courtroom. Absolutely nothing. When the man dares to question jurisdiction, the judge cuts him off instantly. Jurisdiction isn't optional, he says. If you're standing in Tennessee, Tennessee law applies. Period. That's when the tone shifts from firm to final. The judge drops the hammer. Matthew Aldridge failed to appear for his plea hearing, and this little performance at the podium changes nothing. Then comes the line that hits like a gavel. You're wasting valuable time that other citizens deserve in this courtroom. The room goes still. The judge resets the trial date for July 15th and warns that if Aldridge doesn't show up by July 8th, his bond will be revoked and he'll sit in jail waiting for trial. Just like that, the games are over. No loopholes. No wordplay. No attorney of fact. Just the law, direct and uncompromising.